We are recording.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
We are traumallamadingdong.
Traumallamadingdong. Hello, all you cool cats and kittens.
You know what we're talking about now, guys? I bet you can't guess.
Yeah, they better fucking know. If they don't, they've been living under a goddamn rock for the last month.
So besides quarantine, COVID-19, there have been obviously binges network or Netflix worthy, and the most popular one with this COVID is Tiger King.
Motherfucking Tiger King. Yep.
But before we get started, we want to restate that we are not mental health professionals.
Not at all, clearly.
We use
Clearly.
we use a lot of dark humor.
Yes.
Humor in general.
You look so cute, by the way. I love it. Can you just dress like this all the time, please?
Yeah, I totally forgot I had this top, and I was like, yes, I do have a cat print.
That's so perfect. Yeah, it's really sad that I had this entire outfit just in my house, in my drawers already.
Also, we do want to state that we are recording over Zoom again while we're doing social distancing, so please forgive the lag or any discrepancies in the sound. But let's get started.
Cool.
What did you think about the show?
It was kind of like a fever dream. It was insanity from beginning to end. And you watch it, the first episode, and you're like, okay, it's about people owning tigers, and that's bad, and this is why it's bad. Kind of thinking that that's what it's going to be, and then it just branches off into like 1,000 different directions, and they're all insane.
Doing this podcast and watching that, did you diagnose like all the characters?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. You want to get into that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'll tell you what I thought of it. I thought like this was a dream, like you were saying. Like I couldn't believe exactly everything that happened. I was like, what?
Yeah. And it's all real. Like if somebody had pitched this as a Hollywood movie or something, they would be like, that's a little much. You need to tone it back. But this was real life. Like these are real fucking people.
Yeah. So the full cast of the show ranges from Joe Exotic, the one that Mai's dressing up as Carol Baskins, crazy cat lady, and there's like Doc Antle. And I also want to reiterate that these are just our personal opinions, again, of what we...
Yes. Clearly we don't know. I mean, we have no idea, but this was just given our own mental health and just having researched so much. This is just kind of what we're thinking. But yeah, please, this is not an actual diagnosis. We're just kind of having fun with it.
Also, Big Cat Rescue, don't sue us either, because we have no money whatsoever.
We have no money. None. We have no baby tigers to sell, and like we don't do meth. We have no money.
So I guess one of the major ones diagnosis I can think of is narcissism.
Yes, for like almost everybody in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that just a byproduct of being a narcissist? Is like you suddenly need 50,000 tigers?
Maybe that's like a misdiagnosis that people like don't have or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, that should be in the textbooks.
That should be.
If you own a tiger.
Also the fact that manic episodes, because everyone had some sort of breakdown itself.
Oh yeah.
On camera and off camera. I know like a lot of people talked about it too, like Joe Exotic going from 0 to 100 being like completely fine, and then in front of people, like when he was filming, he would fire at least one person. Yeah,
which I also think is heavily part of the narcissism.
Yeah,
and just being in control.
Because like the lifestyle that everyone was like living at that time, especially in Joe Exotic's zoo, the GW Zoo, that it did like contribute to a lot of factors of possibly like mental health issues.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people in that show. I mean, I think a lot of too, they were saying, you know, how everybody was kind of, there were a bunch of misfits, and he kind of just, I think he preyed on that, where he was like, oh, you have like an issue, like we'll come in and be part of the family, but it was really just like a control thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of mind control in
Yeah,
that show.
mind controlling. I'm sure there is some gaslighting involved in
Oh yeah.
that as well. Safi, the one that got her arm chewed off, mentioned like she only stayed in the hospital for like 7 days, and then she went back to work because she was so afraid.
5 days.
Five days.
5 days. Yeah,
5 days.
which is insane. And I do want to point out with that really quick, because I'm one of these people that I assumed that she was a lesbian. And I know a lot of people are saying that. She is actually and he's a trans male.
Okay.
Which I really wish that they had gone into on the show. But I don't know why they didn't. But yeah, I guess that came out because a lot of people were like, the one-armed lesbian, like she's awesome, which she was. But she's a he. So that's something I learned recently.
Not only that, I do remember that they mentioned it in the on Over the Walkie, like he got his arm bitten off.
Okay,
And
see,
the right
good.
pronouns, but in the
Good.
news, when the news reported it, it said woman.
Yes. Yeah.
So there is that misconception there.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like just with that alone, or the fact that Joe was so manipulative, controlling, a predator, narcissism.
Yeah.
He convinced two people that were straight that they were gay.
Yeah. Either he convinced them or he lured them in with drugs and meth and like already probably preyed on whatever issues that they already had. Travis, the one that committed suicide, I mean, he seemed like he already had like anger issues, and I feel like that was probably made worse just by the fact that Joe was so controlling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these poor guys like had this man tattooed all over his body. Like
all over his body. I know he wasn't allowed, or Travis wasn't allowed out of the compound or anything.
yes.
So it just shows like to what extent taking that to Doc Ansel, the one lady they interviewed that left the zoo, said
Yeah.
not a cult, but it sure felt like one. I'm like, if
it's a cult, bitch. Bitch, it's a cult. Yeah.
It's a cult.
It's definitely a cult. It's a weird sex cult with tigers. Yeah.
I did feel bad for like, I think it was kind of hard to root for like one character because it was just all like product of mental health that caused this, or was it like their environment? And it was just kind of like, I did have to I couldn't binge watch it, in other words. I had to like take a break.
You had to take breaks. Yeah. Yeah, the first episode for me, like, because everybody was like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Like, you're just going to get on this train and not get off. But the first episode I watched, and I was just like, okay. But it didn't make me want to, like, I was interested, but I didn't feel like binge watching it, kind of for that same reason where I was just like, wow, this is a lot. And I didn't feel like saturating myself. But then I think it was like episode 2 or 3, then I was like hook, line, and sinker. And we just finished the whole fucking season in like one sitting.
And there is talks of a new episode coming out too. So this may be like another part. So please make sure you are keep in touch with us. In other words, we'll probably post something else about it.
Oh, probably. Yeah. I just, all of, like, everybody's like, who's your favorite character? I'm like, nobody. Because they're all, like, none of them have really any redeeming qualities. Like, they're all just kind of insane. As far as, like, the main, like, cat people. I did think the guy, the Walmart guy who was like his spokesperson, his political, it was a campaign manager or something. He seemed like the most normal out of everybody to me, but he also, I'm just like,
more like Travis shot himself in front of him.
I know, which would cause tremendous trauma, I would imagine, seeing that happen. Like, I don't know how you can ever.
Ooh, I want to say PTSD would be a definite factor or
Oh yeah.
a diagnosis for it, at least some of these people.
Yeah. And it's really sad because we don't know why he, killed himself, but you just look at it and you're like, there was so much control and just so much, like you said, probably gaslighting. I mean, the fact that he couldn't leave the compound, like you would, as a human being, you would feel trapped. And I kind of feel like these human beings were sort of like the tigers. Like he kind of just collected these people and like kept them on the compound and like in their own cage. And you can't do that. Like people will go crazy. Like that's one quick way to break somebody down. And I think that that's kind of what he used as a tactic.
I think we talked about it on our COVID episode about like being quarantined and stuck in like this bubble too about it.
Yes. Because you said like solitary confinement, right? That's how they can break. Well, that's what they use for prisoners for punishment. But yeah.
I also did find a couple Psychology Today posts. We'll put the link on the video.
Oh.
But one of them, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So one of them is called The 5 Things I Learned Watching Tiger King.
Okay, this is interesting.
The first one was narcissists are predators and always looking for their next victim.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Holy shit.
Pretty much anyone that actually owned a big zoo, if you watch it, like every single person you can see, you're a predator because of this, you're doing this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I'm just going to go through them. I just got to find the number 2. Number 2 is the human desire to belong and be loved is greater than our survival instinct. So that means every animal has a survival instinct and internal unconscious impulse to further promote one's genetics. And by staying alive and reproducing one's genetic code and by producing. So in other words, like, we may see that Joe clung to these straight men because he wanted to be loved more than survival.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Another third one is like meets like. So pretty much like the good guys like the good guys, the bad guys like the bad guys. So you can see everyone kind of lining up in like their group. Like he looked up to Doc Antle, like this guy is amazing. I want to do the things he does. He sent show like what is he doing in the zoo so we can do it.
Right.
And when that didn't work, he went to another guy and another guy, trying to just line himself up.
Yeah. That's true.
And then the fourth one says murder is more natural than we would like to admit.
That scares me. That really scares me because that's like this weird fear of mine where it's like, what if you just snap? Because like people, I mean, we're fans of serial killers and people like murder podcasts, but it's like, how do you know? Like you can be like, no, I would never do that. But it's like, how do you get to that point? You know, like what happens in a person's brain?
You always hear the stories like, they were such a good couple. I don't know. And is this what they mean?
Exactly. Oh my God, it's so scary. Yeah, that's a huge fear of mine, and I mean, it's
Okay, and the last one that I know some of you cool cats and kittens will not be jiving with, but number 5, it doesn't matter if Carol killed her husband.
What does that mean?
It's basically talks about like, it's not, can we just read it real quick?
Okay.
Yes, we are all debating this on a social media looking for evidence and proof that she killed him, but it doesn't matter. She killed him because she established her life as a queen and savior of endangered cats and as the beloved leader of so many young and eager animal-loving volunteers. By doing so, she fulfilled her dreams and her narcissist aspiration of being the best. So if Carol's husband had left her when she was very close to getting that audience and following that she had always felt she deserved, The narcissistic injury would have been too much for Carol to take. When a narcissist is rejected or rebuffed, they feel as if their true self has been exposed to the world. That soft, insecure, imperfect, mushy hazelnut center has been exposed as a fraud, and the crown of success torn from his or her head. A narcissist's feelings don't simply get hurt. The shroud of identity that they have worked so hard to construct immediately falls apart, and they are left naked in anger. So the question is that we should all be asking is, if Carol were narcissists living in a world where murder and death threats were common, and if the human desire is to be loved and belong is greater than the survival instinct, then in a narcissist rage, what would stop her from killing her husband?
That's a very good point. I don't understand what it means by it doesn't matter though, because it doesn't it?
Murder, there's no it's murder.
It's murder. Like, it doesn't matter if she's a narcissist who wants to be loved. Like, that sucks. Everybody, I mean, most people want to be loved, but
again, it just turns out we don't know anything. No body, no crime, right?
That's sardine oil, though.
And the last thing I looked up on psychology today, I literally typed in Google Tiger King diagnosis.
Oh my God, I love it.
I think you'll like this. So, can Tiger King madness be explained by the cat Parasite?
Oh yeah, you were saying something about this. What is the cat Parasite?
Okay, I think I did talk about this in the very beginning when he started this podcast. I want to say maybe episode 1 or so.
Okay.
There's this parasite basically, and it's called toxoplasma. Sorry if I'm getting it wrong. Gondii, which is an infectious. Basically, it diminishes the brain. So
wait, this is a real parasite?
Yeah, it's a real parasite. Don't look.
I thought it was. What? I'm not gonna Google it. I'm looking at my cat. Like, are you? No, I thought you were saying cat parasite. Like, I don't know, like people who own cats or.
No, it's a parasite that cats give, and it can cause a rage disorder, which is if you look at Joe Exotic, he's exuberating all these full of rage things. Look at your face.
Because I'm my hypochondria is screaming right now.
People that are affected with toxoplasma are more likely to end up in jail.
Stop! I hate this. How many serial killers own cats? That's what we should be asking right now. We need to do a study ASAP. Get on this, FBI or whoever the fuck.
Well, that means we would be looked at as serial killers, though. For sure. There's going to be a long list. I'm definitely going to be on top of that list. I'm already I have so many cat tattoos. My cat.
I know, I was going to say. I mean, but we do, and we also already have a fascination with murder podcasts.
Oh, no. What is this?
So how do you God damn it. And it never goes away. It's just in your brain forever.
Kind of like that. There are also studies find that toxoplasmosis is significantly higher in substance abuse users. So everyone that uses drugs that possibly has this bacteria can definitely go into a rage.
What about drinking?
Yeah, drinking is definitely a substance.
Cool, that's a new fear I have. Great, awesome. Well, that would make sense though. I mean, if he has it and if even she has it, I think we figured it out, guys.
You guys want to
figured out the mystery?
You guys want to read more into the toxoplasma or the psychology today? What I learned watching the Tiger King, we'll put it on the links too.
Yeah, we'll probably write a little blog about it.
But let's kind of go back into the show about Travis's suicide.
Yeah.
I saw it coming.
Did you?
So I was watching it, and then when they started talking about Travis, I thought about it hey, you don't see interviews with Travis. You see
True.
interviews with John Finley, his other husband. And I'm like,
yeah, and it was always in past tense talking.
and then they're always referring to past tense, and then you keep watching it, and then they go into like, yeah, he would like point a gun at me when I would wake up and stuff, and I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know where this is heading.
Yeah.
And then the campaign manager was talking about like him and stuff, and the next thing you know, there's that video of hearing the gunshot, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah. It was, I wouldn't say it, like, for me it wasn't triggering. It was a little hard to watch just because I was like, I mean, you don't see anything, you just see the guy witnessing it, right? But even that, like, he just sat there for so long. And I was just like thinking, like, what is going through his mind? You know, like, he just saw this guy. And I know he said it's not like the movies, you know, where like, you know what happens, but you're still kind of like, maybe not, like, maybe he's just joking. But yeah, just the fact that he was sitting there for so fucking long was just really sobering. So I was like, yeah.
That, and I think it, like, when that happened, it kind of like a domino effect happened. Like, a bunch of things started happening right after. I know that Joe definitely took it the hardest. And I don't think, like, I'm not saying like it wasn't a real thing that he felt. It was just more of like, there's this thing that he created, like his husband, and it got taken away. So like, going back to about narcissism, it was just more of like a breaking point. And
yeah. And I mean, also, like, I'm not going to say he didn't feel anything. I'm sure he did. But there's also this part of me that questions if a lot of that was an act. To be like, look at me, like, I'm the victim, poor me. Because, like, right before then, his other husband with the teeth, no teeth, he left, right? Because he was actually like, guess what? I'm straight too, and I'm fucking this other lady, and I'm going to marry her. What's that?
And I got her pregnant.
Oh, yeah, he got her pregnant. I forgot about that. He left with her, and then the Travis thing happened. But, like, wasn't it just a couple weeks to a month later that he already found like his new husband?
Yep, found a new husband already. And I think it's part of the narcissist personality that they need someone to validate every single thing. So I don't think it was more of like, I need to move on quick. It was just more of that need and drive to not be lonely.
Yeah. Damn.
So I think that's what happened more than like, yes, I think it was kind of an act, but I think it was just more of like, he needs everyone to look at me, I'm being the victim here, and then get someone else to like make him feel better about himself.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense.
Personally, that's what I think happened, but I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But I do notice, so I keep looking down because we're actually like reading off our notes right now.
Yeah.
You had a question, and I would love to ask this question. Why was John?
Oh, yes. Okay. So why the fuck was John's cover tattoo so bad?
Okay, working at a tattoo shop, we get a lot of cover-ups. And the thing that people don't realize is if your tattoo is this big, that means your tattoo should be this big.
Right.
So I think personally, he just wanted it gone. And from when like this was made, he could have just like lasered it off.
He could have.
But then you have to think about where they're from or where they're located.
Yeah.
And
or the means they have.
Yeah, the means that they have. And if I'm not mistaken, Oklahoma was one of those states where they like, not recently, but if, like early 2000s, they okayed tattooing.
Yeah.
So like it could be like that person didn't know what they were doing to tattoo over.
Like the tattoo itself, from what I remember, wasn't like terrible. It wasn't so much the but it didn't cover, like there were still like, it was like, here's the cover tattoo and here's his old tattoo, like peekaboo, like I'm here still. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if that was his fault that he was like, this is what I want. And then he did the placement and he's like, yeah, that looks great. Or if it was a tattoo artist bolts? I don't know. We don't know if he was like, hey man, this is not a great idea.
Like the bull face just to cover Joe Exotic, and it could have just been property of the bull or something.
Yeah,
I've
that's true.
like so many strange ones. I've this person I used to know, he had a ribbon going down his V-neck V to his penis and said something about, do you want some Halpia pie?
Do you want some what?
Halpia pie.
Oh, I get it.
It's a dick joke. You guys didn't get it.
Yeah.
But the thing that I don't like, I guess like I'm coming to terms with is just like, I read an article on Big Cat Rescue about what their thoughts were about the Joe Exotic into madness thing, and they were basically like, we can't refute all of the negative things that this is going to say about us, but just know that we're true. And I'm just like, if you can't say that this is all wrong or like back up facts, is it really wrong though?
Yeah. I know her. I saw that like PSA that she put out, which was just kind of like, I don't know. That all of those people on that show are crazy. Did you notice when they were carrying out, spoiler alert, I feel like you won't be watching this if you haven't watched The Tiger King yet. But when they burned whoever, I think it was Joe Exotic who burned down his own alligator house / film. I think absolutely that was him. But when they were carrying the poor like dead alligator out on the stretcher, did you notice the guy's shirt that said Gator Done?
I did. I was like, I would have done that, honestly. I'm like, that is in such bad taste, but it is so funny. Like,
he's like, today's the day. Like, I've been wanting to wear this shirt. But yeah, no, there's so many things. I think the Tiger King coming out during the era of COVID was probably the best thing that could have happened to us being stuck in quarantine, because so many amazing things have come out of it. I'm just talking about like creators. Huh?
Your Christmas card?
My Christmas card, yeah. My husband and me did a Christmas card where I photoshopped his face into, we can maybe put this up on the screen, but that picture of Joe Exotic, and then I was the tiger, which was a whole thing. Yeah, and then just so many content creators. TikToks are off the hizzy with this. Yeah, it's fucking, I love it. I love all the memes. Like, I collect them because they just bring me joy.
With that, we're going to get into our Trauma Llama tips, but before that, we do want to keep everyone updated. We do have new content.
Yes.
So our next episode after this one, this episode was filmed back in February.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Black History Month. We also introduce Audrey, so you guys get to hear her.
Yeah.
And our friend Christina.
Yep.
It is probably going to be a 2-part episode.
It was very long.
Yeah, we ended up talking for almost 2-3 hours. It was so much.
Yeah.
And
it was great though.
It was so great. And it wasn't even like the tip of the iceberg of like what we wanted to like talk about. There's so many things. So we're going to have them back. We also want to let you guys know that if you ever want to be a guest on our show, or if you want to write us a letter or anything to talk about on the show, we'll be happy to do that too.
Yeah, absolutely. We always want people to be engaged. And, there's things that people out there, they want to talk about. And a lot of times we get an email or we get comments or messages from people who are like, hey, I'm going through this thing. I would love to talk about it. Or like, I have experience with this issue. Like, I'm super down to be open about it. And we love that, so we definitely appreciate it.
I just wanted to bring up, because this, I guess, documentary, you would say?
For Tiger King?
Yeah.
Yeah, documentary.
Suicide. I do want to tell people that if you are feeling suicidal or you just need to talk, because we're not professionals, there is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Yep.
You can call that for free at 1-800-273-8255. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. I'll probably write it like right there on the screen. So
yeah.
What is your trauma?
Excuse me. I have the Rona. I'm fine.
Good thing we're social distancing.
Yes,
So
I just cough all over you.
Tip for the day.
Ooh, I probably should have thought of one. I'm gonna say, especially with being stuck inside for quarantine, have fun, like try. And I know it's tough, but if you're, with friends or family, like try and do something, like maybe play a board game or like dress up like an idiot. I mean, I'm home alone right now. Like this is I've made a couple TikToks just dressed up like this.
We should do a dual one.
We should what?
We should do a dual reaction one of me and you.
Oh my God, can we please?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know how to do that. Okay, I'll send you the one I made. I just made a stupid one with this song from, I wrote it down. His name is Caleb Jackson on TikTok. And he made that, that bougie, or what is it? Savage, sassy, boozy, bougie, whatever. I don't know. I can't do it. But it's that song to Carol Baskin.
Perfect.
And it's fucking hilarious. So we should play that at some point. But yeah, have fun. Try to make the best, I guess, of the situation. It's because this whole thing is so scary and so like mentally and emotionally draining. And especially when you're following the news and just hearing all this bad, news and bad updates and whatever. I think it's important to just take some time and try to have some fun, whatever that may mean. If it's play a video game or like play Animal Crossing with your friends, or, get on FaceTime and just be silly with a friend, or do drinking games over the internet. Like, do something just to kind of like get you out of that negative mindset. It's hard, but you can do it.
Damn. I guess my trauma llama tip is sharing Mai's one. So I'll just give you another option to have fun. In other words, have fun and don't be a couch potato just watching documentaries or watching movies.
Yeah.
Do something. If you're home alone, perfect way to do is use your technology, like Maya is saying. Contact someone, dress up, make funny, stupid TikTok videos, send it to each other.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or, if you do have someone, ask them to play cards with you. The other day, me, my boyfriend, my roommate, we were playing Yahtzee. We found
fun.
I had 3 dice, and Dylan had a die, and Shauna had a die. So we have different shaped dice playing Yahtzee. So
that's so fun. Yeah, we played checkers last night with shot glasses.
I saw that. I was like,
made it fun. But also, with saying this, I think it's important for us to also acknowledge, like, if you are severely depressed, or if this is particularly tough for you, or you're a sole caregiver, or maybe you are still working and you're not quarantined, it's okay if you're not doing as much as other people.
Yeah.
I saw, I think I posted it, but it was like a new take on a meme that was basically kind of being like, if you don't come out of this knowing a language or like having a new skill, then it's not that you didn't have time, it's that you're not disciplined. So I think the danger of that is like, oh, I have all this time, but I'm still not getting anything done. That's okay too, because we're all collectively going through this traumatic situation right now. And like sleeping and you being tired is your body's way of saying like, you're going through a traumatic situation. I'm going to like hold on to as much energy as I can. It's a trauma response. So it's okay if you don't do this. We're just saying like, for those of you who have the ability to, that's a good way to just kind of get yourself out of a negative mindset.
Yeah, for sure. So again, if you like this video, subscribe to our channel, listen to us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher.
We're on so many right now. We're on Google. You can Google us.
Yeah, traumallamadingdong.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Also, if you want to support us, besides validating us, because we love validation, you can buy something from our Redbubble, Trauma Llama swag. Remember, all of our proceeds go to new products and new awesome things like this.
That'd be super helpful. Yeah.
Our website and our social media is still a little bit under construction, but you can also reach us at our email, traumallamadingdong@gmail.com.
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram is going to be our traumallamadingdong, and you can hit us up on Twitter now at
Trauma Talks. If you are listening to this on the podcast, do me a favor and just go over and look at us on the YouTube because we look hilarious and adorable.
Yeah.
So you got to see how we're dressed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, put the cat head on. Perfect. I think this is a perfect time to play that music and play us out of here.
Ready, guys?
Yes.
Ah!
She's like looking at it side eye.
Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen. Fed them to tigers, they snacking. What's happening? Carol